Offer extended. Offer not accepted. This is Nelson with Nelson Radio, and you're challenged by today's rush to real estate, all combined with a concern that by the time you find your dream home, higher rates will price you out of the market. I've got the answer. With my mortgage market exclusive lock and shop rate guarantee, you can freeze today's low interest rates, shop for your new home, all with the peace of mind that your rate is waiting for you at the finish line. Call or click 888-888-2136 or click through on strongcreditrewards.com.
This is Be a Beast on Nelson Radio. You chose to be here. This is not by accident that you're here now and in this program. You want to take your performance to the highest level. You want to dominate. You physically work hard. Now that's important. Mentally, we're going to prepare you to have the kind of success that's available to you. Not just for some, but for you to live it fully. You can do it too. Enjoy this journey. This program is your secret weapon. Be a Beast on Nelson Radio.
And this is Be a Beast on Nelson Radio, heard right here on KLAA AM 830 with myself, Nelson, and professional performance coach, mental performance coach, Dave Austin. How you doing, Dave?
Love it, baby.
I'm throwing accolades at you. You fired up?
I'm catching, man. This is our post, Super Bowl show, man.
This is our post-Super Bowl show, and this is really the trigger for you to get involved. We want you in this training program. There's a variety of different programs that we're going to showcase, but the way to contact us, reach out by phone, 888-888-2136. You can click through at nelsonradio.com, or the easiest of yet, I can't make it any easier, simply text the word BEAST to 313131. Dave, you and I are coaching performance from the locker room to the boardroom. We want people performing stronger.
Oh, absolutely. And this is such a great day to come right after the Super Bowl, which was a great show with Mike Tomczak. But today we move it right in with Dave Arnold. I mean, he's winning Super Bowls every day in what he's doing. He's a business leader and a pastor of global initiatives for Saddleback Church and, pastors Rick Warren's Purpose-Driven Life.
We have a similar role, Dave Arnold and I.
Really?
Yes, because Dave is the execution guy, the person that takes all of the vision of Rick Warren and his global initiatives and his peace plan and is boots to the ground executing, and that's who I am to you.
Yeah,
I'm chasing vision and creativity, and wow.
And you keep me on a kite, so you pull me down every so often, so I keep my feet on the ground once in a while. I love it. Without that, what would we do? But, what's really exciting today is that we're going to introduce CORE. We've never, we got an animal that anchors everything we talk about.
Right.
And CORE is our lion. I mean, that is the power of effective leadership. And we're going to learn from Dave, really, how he masterminds and stays present to do some amazing things that they're doing.
Well, and why we chose CORE and what that stands for is it's the counterbalance to doubt. And here, let's face it, doubt creeps in. And I love the story that Coach Jim Herrick shared with us in terms of what he deals with doubt, in terms of being practiced, planned, and prepared, and knows when it's starting to creep in and knows how to vet that and point that into a direction that actually contributes to your performance as opposed to, getting in the way.
Well, that's one of the things I love about doing the show with you, because we also have our Be a Beast training program, which keeps you accountable. We're talking about that. So our program, we have the Be a Beast training videos. We've got one-on-one coaching. We've got the 30-day, I love the Beast Mode On
Beast
challenge.
Mode On.
It's awesome. So it keeps you in the game every day. We have the saying, champions are champions before they're champions. That means you live your day, you live your life as a champion today. You don't wait until you get there. You do it today. And I think Dave's going to show us how he lives and breathes this every single day.
And we have 3,000 testimonies that are about to emerge with the opening of the Olympics, 3,000 Olympians that are going in, and there's not that exact idea of how it's going to unfold, how they're going to perform, how they're going to execute. Do they belong there? I mean, there's a 3-member contingency from India that's a part of the broader Olympic squad, and they're probably going, why are we here?
Well, it's so funny. We see these champions on TV, and I've had a chance to work with them behind the scenes. We think, oh, well, they've got this special whatever. No, they have doubt right now. They've got a lot of doubt, and they're having to face that. It's how they face it. So they're no different from you who are listening to this show. I mean, doubt is something that happens to us. I mean, I think we're going to learn from Dave that he's, taking on some of the challenge that he's doing. Doubt does slip in. So how do you get through doubt to be able to achieve? And every one of these Olympians right now, believe it or not, there's a lot of fear going on. And fear is not a terrible thing when you learn how to shift it into courage.
And we're going to show you how to point that in the right direction. You're listening to Be a Beast on Nelson Radio with Dave Austin and myself, Nelson. Call us direct, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Text the word BEAST to 313131, and we'll follow up with you immediately, get you engaged in our program. Coming up, Dave Arnold, pastor of Global Initiatives for Rick Warren's Purpose-Driven Life.
Ducks Radio AM 830, KLAA.
Be a Beast on Nelson Radio spends a lot of time vetting out true professionals. Insurance Inc. is one of our best. Cutting premiums up to 40%. Insurance Inc. We want you to contact them direct, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136, or go to insuranceinc.com.
Protect your family's future with an AmeriState Living Trust. It doesn't take as much time or cost as you may think. If you own a home or have children, you need a living trust. With an AmeriState Living Trust, you can protect your family and have peace of mind. The experts at AmeriState Legal Plan have helped more than 35,000 families safeguard their future. Their services are half the cost of pricey law firms. Don't delay any longer. Call today, 888-888-2136, and get an additional $250 off. AmeriState Legal Plan. Looking forward, planning wisely.
Do you ever want a secret weapon? Be a Beast training video is your weapon. From the locker room to the boardroom, success is not by accident. Performance is not by chance. You want to get your mind right? Perform at the highest level? Dominate your marketplace? Be a Beast training video is the answer. Mentally, we're going to prepare you to have the kind of success that's available for you to live it fully. You can do it too. The Be a Beast training video is your secret weapon. 888-888-2136. Let me say that again. 888-888-2136, or text BEAST to 313131.
Ducks Radio AM 830 KLAA.
This is Be a Beast on Nelson Radio with myself, Nelson, business leader and professional coach, and my special, magnificent co-host, Dave Austin, mental performance coach. You can reach us 888-888-2136, or text the word BEAST to 313131. Dave, our guest is, I'm excited. And I'm excited because here's an individual that's a member of an organization that goes out and we don't want to just improve Orange County. We don't want to just improve Lake Forest. We want to make a difference globally.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, I love watching raw courage in action. Saddleback Church and its global initiative, I mean, to attack the major pandemics, I mean, challenging this world. It's not just challenging Orange County. It is challenging Orange County. So we are here present, but it goes beyond. You know, we saw a picture this morning of a boat where you know, guys up here in the top of the boat, there's a hole in the boat, and it's like, oh, you know, I'm glad I'm on this end of the boat because that end's sinking with the hole.
Right,
well, you know what? You're in the same boat.
Right, exactly.
And so I love what Dave is doing, and Rick Warren, they're taking on the world. And that is what I mentioned, raw courage to take on that.
And so with that, Dave Arnold, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So, Dave, you've got the global initiative, the peace plan of planning churches to promote reconciliation, equipping servant leaders, assisting the poor, caring for the sick, and educating the next generation. Just little goals for 2014, right?
Absolutely.
So
we're going to slay the 5 biggest giants in the world.
Right. And so your role is now to take this vision and to execute it.
Correct.
And I look at that and I go, how? How do you take on now from an execution role? I want to get that peek behind the curtain.
Well, actually, the biggest trick with any vision and any goal is to get everybody involved. And in our particular case, we believe that everybody who's participating in a church or participating in any church can actually help us in our goal. And not everybody can do everything, but everybody can do something.
I think it's really important. And that's, you know, we all sometimes, if you're going to take on something big, you got to be able to do the little things. And as everyone steps in and does the little things, the big things just unfold almost naturally.
Absolutely. And it's amazing what people bring to the party that they don't even realize it. You start meeting people along the way that say, well, I can do that, or I can do that, and it's a matter of encouragement.
Skill sets that are undiscovered.
Never even knew they were there.
Yeah.
They may not have, and we certainly didn't.
Oh, I love that because I with the mental training I do, I think everyone has a true genius in them, but we block that from us because we don't believe, who am I to do something like that? So you're taking people who are saying, well, how can I be a part of something that's so major? Well, yeah, guess what? There's a genius in you. All you got to do is step up, and we'll find a place for you on this team. I love that.
Absolutely. You got to create an environment that allows that to come out and thrive. A lot of environments suppress those kind of things. They put people in a pigeonhole and say, you do this, you do that. We use a more of a self-selection. You get into something by what we call your shape, and that's what you're designed to do, what God uniquely made you to do, and you start doing it. He gave you a certain skill set. You need to use that one. You don't. If you're really good at something, don't try and do something else instead. Use that one and pour it on.
Well, I love that because you're taking the leadership because, doubt. We all have doubt. A lot of people think, well, I couldn't do that because of this or that. And you know what? I got to think it's somewhere in your own mind. You probably say, wow, can we do this? I mean, can we really do this? And the truth is that voice that might say no way, you're overriding that with faith and hope and courage. And that's within all of us, not just in you. So give us some insight on that.
Well, doubt is something we're all facing every single day. And it really is a matter of how you let it build up within you. It's living between belief and non-belief. If you don't believe something, you're going to doubt it. If you believe it strongly enough, or if you can see the vision and you feel like you're part of it, you certainly will overcome that. And we have something that's maybe slightly different in doubt is we have absolute faith. We believe that the goals we're trying to accomplish are higher goals. They're bigger than us, and they're God-given goals. They're God-given vision. And therefore, we overcome doubt with faith. You also overcome doubt by experience. As you take on the little things and you're successful in them, then bigger things actually look less complicated.
You're listening to Be a Beast on Nelson Radio with Dave Austin, and we're with Dave Arnold, pastor of global initiatives for Saddleback Church and Rick Warren's Peace Plan. You got to have that experience as you exit the executive boardroom. There's got to be those moments where you go, okay, here we go. I mean, is that in your own world? I mean, do doubts creep in?
Well, I'll tell you where the biggest doubt creeps in when you transition from an executive role to a ministerial role. Is in the world of business, you have a certain level of assets available to you and certain talents around you, certain things that you can get done, and certain staff. When you move into the ministerial role, you don't have that. There isn't a this or that just waiting for you. You don't have a row of vice presidents with tremendous experience and skill sets in the subject matter. So you're constantly looking for new people. You're looking for volunteers. You're looking for people to step up. And it is amazing how all of a sudden when you need somebody, that person's there. We need to talk to somebody who's an expert in this field. And just out of the conversation, that person is there. And that starts to take the doubts away as you just realize as you keep stepping forward, the next thing you need is always there. And that's the more that happens to you, the less doubtful you'll ever become and the more strength you'll have and just be able to do it. You'll just move forward with it.
So, Dave, we talked about it's your boots on the ground that are creating these initiatives and executing these initiatives from the recipient side. Let's say as you do, you've recently traveled to Rwanda, you go to a people group, and is there their doubt that you have to deal with, where they're going, all right, here comes another relief organization?
Oh, absolutely. That's probably one of the biggest dirty little secrets of Africa in particular. We have sent everybody and their brother to Africa to try and solve the problem. And Americans tend to want to take over and fix it. We see the problem, we're going to take care of it. Our belief is that we're not trying to give them a hand out. We're trying to give a hand up. We're trying to teach them a skill set that'll help them be able to improve their own lot. So when we walk in, we're walking in with a legacy of history of years and years of people coming in, telling them how to do it, pushing them aside. Right. And we're bringing them into it, which is very different. So they have doubts about us. But we've been down in Rwanda now for over 8 years, and we have built relationships with people, and we've been very consistent. We do the same thing over and over again. We show back up. They have relationships with us. They start to know us. And we overcome those doubts by just being consistent and doing what we're supposed to do.
See, I love that aspect because it's your action more than your words.
Yeah, it's really caught, not taught, if you think about it. They see it and they believe it, but it takes time and it's a generational thing.
It's a powerful thing, too. And as I'm sitting here listening to describe this, I met Bishop Montgomery from Rwanda, and he is, in his ministerial role, now ministering to the people that were the executors of part of his family. I mean, it's the most graphic illustration of going back into the face of something. And I don't know, Dave, do you call that courage? Do you call that, I mean, obviously faith is is the centerpiece of it, but how do you do that?
Well, I'd probably, in his case, call it a strong conviction. But when you meet somebody in Rwanda, and his very sad situation there is, they're one of three categories. They've either killed somebody, and they carry a lot of guilt with them, or they've witnessed something tragic, and they have trauma with them, or they've had it done to them or family members, so they have anger with them. So absolutely, when someone's doing what he's doing, it's facing all of those events at the same time.
Yeah, the receiver of tragedy, the provider of tragedy, and the traumatization of it in between. I mean, that's a rough go.
Yeah, it's amazing, but I love the fact that you're using examples to show that shift occurs if you allow it to. You can either go, oh, these dirty whatever, or be lifted up. And what an example of someone who's making change, even though they came after him and killed his family. He's not getting into that energy of that. He's making change take place by who he is out of it.
Absolutely.
Dave Arnold, I want you to stay with us. We're going to be right back with Roger Anthony and really anchor this, maybe a challenge emotionally into something good. You're listening to Be a Beast on Nelson Radio, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Roger Anthony coming out of the bush next.
Ducks Radio AM 830 KLAA.
This is Nelson with Be a Beast Radio, and I'm coaching you to contact Brian Chu from OC Wills and Trust. Be prepared for the inevitable. He can contact you, direct you on your estate plan, and for veterans, qualified veterans 65 or older, there is the possibility of a $25,000 tax-free VA benefit. OC Wills and Trust provides a free evaluation as to whether you or your loved ones can qualify. Find out more, 888-888-2136, or click through at nelsonradio.com. Do you ever want a secret weapon? Be a Beast training video is your weapon. From the locker room to the boardroom, success is not by accident. Performance is not by chance. You want to get your mind right? Perform at the highest level? Dominate your marketplace? Be a Beast training video is the answer. Mentally, we're going to prepare you to have the kind of success that's available for you to live it fully. You can do it too. The Be a Beast training video is your secret weapon. 888-888-2136. Let me say that again. 888-888-2136 or text BEAST to 313131.
Angels Radio.
AM 830.
This is Be a Beast on Nelson Radio, heard right here on KLAA AM 830. We're with Dave Austin, mental performance coach, myself, Nelson, and Dave Arnold from Saddleback Church, pastor of the Global Initiative and executing the peace plan around the world. It's a fabulous and monumental effort. And as we do, this is Dave leading into our favorite segment, bringing Roger Anthony out of the bush and talk about how his learning anchor system can give us this change of negative emotion and pointing it towards positive.
Well, that's why we always bring Roger out of the bush, because he has so much to give. You know, in our Be a Beast 12-step program, I mean, it works because it's combined with Roger's Crocodiles program. It's a 92% average recall rate. So when you hear how he's going to anchor it with Core of the Lion, you'll keep Core with you wherever you go. I love it. So let's see. Should we check and see if we've got him out of the bush? Roger, are you there?
I have. I've just arrived, and I'm really excited to be part of this program. So thanks, guys, and looking forward to it.
And so, Roger, let's tee this up. We've been talking about doubt and, how things, whether it's doubt or fear or angst, those emotions can either be productive or destructive. And so here we have your learning anchor system. Tell us how it can be changed and be constructive.
Wonderful. Well, just listening to Dave and also understanding a little bit about what he stands for and the Rick Warner organization and this incredible initiative for peace around the world, that requires a tremendous amount of faith. But faith is really dead when you don't have the courage to overcome whatever obstacles stand in your way. And what we say when we're teaching in our organization about the importance of knowing that when you're confronted with opposition, that's a great sign. That's something to get excited about, because opposition literally precedes a blessing that is just around the corner. Somehow it's an eternal law that, the greater the trial or tribulation, the greater the blessing just around the corner. So we should never give up. We should be excited about it. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about our memory anchor retention system using the lion. And the reason we chose the lion by the name of COUR, C-O-U-R, COUR stands for courage. And COUR becomes our trigger or our anchor to remember that when opposition comes our way, never to give up, to have the core or the courage to keep going. And why do we choose a lion? Well, a lion is known for their courage. Now, I didn't know just how courageous a lion was until in my studies and research that we did, watching a lion protecting his pride. And so the pride was being threatened by crocodiles who were coming out of the water to attack some of the young. But this great big lion who was in charge of the pride, he just walked in, not toward the actual crocodiles, but walked into the water, and they started to back away. And I said, my word, what's going to happen here? How is he going to overcome this situation or this negative moment in his life? The crocodiles began to gather around him, and he let out this roar that was just blood-curdling. And the crocodiles backed away a little bit more. Now the lion then went up to his belly in the water in the same domain as the crocodiles. And he let out two more roars. And that whole raft of crocodiles turned around and retreated. Now that is courage. And when you think about what Rick Warner and Dave Arnold are doing and what their life is all about, they have to be core people. They have to be people that have faith and hope. And I'd like to just end with this, if I could, that we talk about faith, but what is faith and how does hope relate to it? And it is all related to the courage to never give up when you know something is right and to let out a roar and let the opposition know that they're not going to stop you no matter what. So a good definition, in my opinion, is this, and that is faith is the hope. There's the hope. Faith is the faith is to hope for things which are not seen but which are true. Now, this peace initiative, you can't see it yet, but it is true. And when we have the courage anchored to faith and hope, it's all over bar the freaking shouting. We just need to be core people and have the courage to continue on no matter what comes our way.
Hey, we see this certainly in the competitive field, in our sport, tennis, somebody that lets out our equivalent of a roar, that come on, when they're facing it, right in the heat of the battle. And certainly in the boardroom, I don't know if the boardroom would echo with a roar, but there's those moments where maybe your board presentation or your job interview or dealing with something in your personal life where you're at that moment going, oh, hold on.
You know what's so amazing is that in our Be a Beast series of videos, we have what he just talked about. We have that actual footage in that. And when you watch it, I just sit there and I go, wow, that's knowing, these crocodiles could probably chomp on this guy, but he knows who he is. He didn't step back. He walked forward, and they went, uh-oh, he knows who he is. I better get out of town. And they just ducked away. So Dave's still here with us, Roger. Roger, can you, I know you probably got a great question for Dave just in hearing what he's doing.
Yep, absolutely. Dave, just very quickly, in regard to having the courage to never give up, I'm sure that you, your team, and Rick Warren are just confronted with so much opposition when you're moving forward in faith, hoping for things which are not seen but you know they're true. Are you able to relate just a little bit to the audience about the importance of courage and never giving up, and how that all ties together with your vision?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, there's always the kind of the subtle ones, the naysayers and so forth, and they're kind of there and they're easy to see, and you can kind of ignore them away and you can deal with them. But then there's the real things that you really have to face. Like, for instance, we were in Uganda a couple of years ago, and a lot of people don't know world politics, but there was a revolution going on there. There was a thing called the Lord's Army, and we had gone up to visit one of the refugee camps, and we're talking about a camp that had over 100,000 people on it. And this is the truth. I was the only guy there without a submachine gun. And it really, you look around and you said, something's wrong with this picture. And you kind of had this sense of calmness that said, I'm supposed to be here. What I'm doing is way more important than what the risk I'm taking. And today's not my day to worry about that. And we were able to get through that, cross the Nile, and headed up there, went through the checkpoints. And it was an amazing experience. And a lot of people hear that story and they say that was a lot of courage. Well, it was, but the fear that was there of personal was overcome by the value of what the reason for being there was.
And that's such an important thing to end this program on in terms of value and having that goal that's valuable enough that you're willing to step out, have that courage. As we close out, we want to thank you, Roger, for being with us. Dave Arnold, thank you for being with us. We always close our program with drawing attention to one of our own initiatives, both on the national front with Operation Homefront and also wanting to introduce on the international front, Treasures of Africa. This is down in Moshi, Tanzania, an orphanage. You'll be able to see little Gabriella, who's we're asking for sponsorship for. Check it out at nelsonradio.com. You're listening to Be a Beast right here on KLAA AM 830 with Dave Austin. Reach out to us, 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. You can be a beast as well. Offer extended. Offer not accepted. This is Nelson with Nelson Radio, and you're challenged by today's rush to real estate, all combined with a concern that by the time you find your dream home, higher rates will price you out of the market. I've got the answer. With my Mortgage Market exclusive lock and shop rate guarantee, you can freeze today's low interest rates, shop for your new home, all with a peace of mind that your rate is waiting for you at the finish line. Call or click 888-888-2136 or click through on strongcreditrewards.com.